100% find you a mentor.
Period. Find you a Nandi. This is why she has the YouTube channel. That's why you need to like, comment. That's why you need to subscribe, because she's telling you the tea.
Yeah.
Okay. Everywhere you go, there's a back door. If you don't think there's a back door, that means you just don't know where it is.
Oh!
I'm just.
So the next topic.
Damn, we're going dark.
We going dark?
In my notes, I literally have yup.
Nandi can't go. Nandi studying. Nandi, you know what I mean? Nandi's crying in the corner. Shit, I don't know. Nandi is nowhere to be found because Nandi's in the books.
When they talk, you say, "Oh, missing this person."
No, y'all wrong for that. Y'all just leave me out of it. Like people I know that actually started anxiety medications while at the program because of the fact, things just became too rough and stressful.
And make sure your friends or the people who you call your home team and your home base are really your friends. You don't just get to see people and call them, "Oh, that's my friend. Oh, yeah." No, that's an acquaintance.
Oh, sis. I feel like those people that always have a bunch of people around them, baby, trust me, you probably got 2 real friends out the pack.
Right. When somebody asks you what's the color of a banana, it's yellow, right? But the test question would be like A, green, B, brown, C, yellow, right? Best answer is yellow. It's still yellow, but I'm like, damn, but if it's right,
it turns brown.
It turns brown, but then I don't know how imposter syndrome even came about when you were there, you were present. Was it an outer body experience? Like, I don't.
Some of my friends know I was off Instagram at one point for a year.
Yeah.
I'm so serious. Like, lock in, do what you have to do, but also save your mental. Like, take care of your mental. I started following things that made me happy, even if those were dog pages.
Right.
Okay? That's
I get a dog.
Don't be following all these little just regular Instagram girls that have, nothing else to really share other than their beauty. Okay? So
remember that you are what you eat.
Yeah.
That's what they say.
Yeah.
And that's physically, spiritually, that's everything. Like whatever you see, whatever you consume, you are what you eat. So put that in all aspects of your life.
All aspects, 100%. Hey guys.
Hey.
Welcome back to my channel. If you don't know me, my name is Nandi. If you do know me, welcome back to another video. As you see, I have my sis here once again. My sister, Chine, she is back and joining me for this video.
Yes, ma'am.
So we decided to, spin the block, come back, do another video together. It's not even a MP versus MD this time. I feel like it's a MD and MP conversation. It's an overall medicine conversation, okay? Correct. And so this video, we're going to be talking about some topics, some spicy topics that usually is not talked about, whether that is in nursing school, medical school, PA school, just important topics that we feel like would be wonderful to talk about. So we're gonna spill the real tea. We keep it 100 over here, okay? And it's just wonderful to have another person like Chine joining. So, we have some combo.
This is what we talk about regardless on our own. We're just
we do from the day to day.
Literally.
Day to day. So before we get into the bulk of this video, please be sure to subscribe to the channel.
Please.
Subscribe to the channel, you guys. It'll mean so much to me. And you see, we're going to be consistent over here. You're going to get the content, okay? So subscribe. My sis Chine, her Instagram will be here on the screen for you guys. So go ahead and follow her on Instagram as well. And let's go ahead and get into this video. Okay, so the very first topic or question that we're going to be talking about is the importance of guidance and mentors. So we're going to be talking about whether or not we feel like they are important within the medical journey, and just talk about our own personal experience, so whether or not we had mentors and how they helped us, etc. So I'll let you start.
I guess guess first.
Guess first.
So I definitely feel like it's always good to have a mentor, because the more you know, like you can only go so far based on what you know. You can do your research, but people's real life experience and things that are not written Reddit, Google, whatever, it just makes that much of a difference. So I'd say like you have your two, like kind of like two groups of mentors you would use, like somebody who's where you want to be, like they're the whether it's a doctor, they're the attending, they know like the ropes, they know how to get there. And then also people who have recently gotten there. So like even your colleagues or an upperclassman or something along those lines, because they're doing it freshly. And people who are older may not know like how many things have changed. Like everything in science is always changing, requirements are always changing. So stuff that you didn't have to do, like, oh dang, people have reached out to me as a mentor as well. And I'm like, dang, I didn't have to do X, Y, and Z back then, but now you guys will do it now. So I'm not sure, I'm not the best person to ask. Because even when my dad, he's a physician as well.
Okay, Dad.
And like things that he had to do is just a different journey than I have to go through. But he still has great advice, obviously, in this field. But then at the same time, I need to also get people who are recently and new to this stuff, because a lot of things have changed. But definitely I've had mentors, been a mentor, but it makes the biggest difference, because I'm like, some things I'm like, oh dang, I wish I knew, but
yeah,
it is what it is.
Right. And I literally said the same thing. You guys know I always have my notes.
Yeah.
But I said the same thing. Like, I just feel like it's 100% important. I feel like it's important, even if you are considering going into medicine, finding a mentor from jump.
Right.
Like, if you can find somebody that's willing to mentor you, like, before your process, give you advice, find somebody that's mentoring you throughout the process when you're currently in school, as well as somebody who's willing to mentor you after the process. So when you're either out there trying to job search and things like that, I feel like you need mentors all throughout.
Correct. Like even as high, like when you know you're interested in medicine, even from high school, middle school, there are routes. People are bypassing even the medical school process starting from high school.
Woo!
So there are so many different opportunities that come and go. Like, so the earlier,
the better.
The earlier, the better. If you know, you know.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And I feel like for me personally, I don't think I had as many mentors as I would have liked. Okay. But I feel like at Agnes, like through GEMS and stuff like that, it was a science sort of related club or medical related club we had. I think it ended. But but we had, like, you know, people or other professors and stuff that were over that club that sort of tried to their best to mentor us. And then I feel like at Emory, so when I was at Emory, I feel like, you know, I sort of was blessed in the sense that I feel like people tried to mentor me. Even if I didn't ask for them to be with us. So I feel like I was blessed in that aspect too. So I was definitely grateful for that. And then even after graduating from Emory, you know, there were still, I would say, at least 1 to 2 professors that still sort of tried to reach out and speak to me afterwards and just, you know, provide guidance and advice once I was about to start applying to jobs. So I feel like that was helpful as well. But to sum it all up, I feel like mentors are able to help with advice. They're able to keep you encouraged. They're able to continue to motivate you. And I feel like, especially at Emory for me, like, they pushed me hard. And that's also in regards to preceptors. Like, and in the moment, of course, you stressed, okay? So you're not trying to be pushed that hard. But I'm definitely grateful for it, because I feel like all of those things and having those preceptors, having those professors that really stayed on me, definitely turned me into the nurse practitioner I am today. So I'm definitely grateful for that. But 100% find you a mentor.
Period. Find you a Nandi. This is why she has the YouTube channel. That's why you need to like, comment. That's why you need to subscribe, because you tell you the tea.
Yeah, you have to.
Reaching many people. I think that's a beautiful thing to do on this platform, because when I tell you, Nandi's like, do you know any X, Y, and Z? Like scrolling for what she is. Like, she's like, I'm not seeing what I need literally online or the resources. So let me be that for you guys. So here's the mentor right here. I'm just going to say that.
We tried. Like, I definitely want this to be a place where people could come and hear the truth too, because like, not necessarily like, I have nothing to lose. You get what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I have more to give. And so I want people to know the things that I wish I knew. And that's why I said I keep it 100 with you. The good, the bad, the ugly, I'm going to let you know. Okay, period. Question number 2. The quote, Sometimes it's not what you know, but who you know.
Yep.
Do you think this quote is true? And how has this quote played a part in your journey, etc.? I guess I can start this time.
Yeah.
But I said I definitely feel like the quote is true. Unfortunately, it's just the world and society that we live in, okay? Because let's be real, there are definitely people that sometimes get a little bit ahead in the game, and it's not because they're smarter than you. It's not because they worked harder than you. It's because they had that extra connection or that extra network, people, parent, whoever it may be, that helped them get to where it is they wanted to be. So I feel like it's 100% true. I feel like it's played a large role in different areas of my life as well, where I have seen this come to light. And I'm like, you know, no shade, but I'm like, even at Emory, you know what I'm saying? It's a great school, but very much so network. You know, like it's a lot of, I don't want to say a lot, but I definitely had a few people even within my cohort whose parent, you know, was an alum, or whose parent is a professor in the school, or X, Y, and Z. So what I'm saying is, you know, it's just, it is what it is, sadly, but it's definitely true in my opinion. What do you feel?
I completely agree. What I know is that no matter, everywhere you go, there's a back door. If you don't think there's a back door, that means you just don't know where it is.
Oh!
I'm just
no, but
those
period.
who need to know,
Snaps to that.
Those who
Snaps
need to know, know. Okay?
Yeah.
I literally was shadowing, before I even entered medical school, shadowing a orthopedic surgeon, and he said to me, like, he said, it doesn't matter how you get in, just get in. Because he was also one of those backdoor people. Like, he wanted to do dentistry at first, but then, like, you know, ended up going the DO route. And because he knew somebody, he's like, well, my friend's dad was literally at the medical school. He was on the admissions board, and just said, you might like this, just come through here, just take these, get the scores that you need, and then you're in, basically. So he did what he had to do. Like, there's always part that you have to play. Like, people can even have that door open for them, but they're not doing their part. So it's still like, both. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not knocking the people who, if you have that opportunity, utilize it, do what's right with it. You know what I'm saying? So he was just like, just doesn't matter how you get in. People are not going to ask you how you got in, what's happening. Just get there and then do the work. Because the playing field is always going to be a part where it still levels out. Like standardized tests, sorry, it doesn't matter what door. Either you get the score or you don't get the score. So there's little things there are little equalizers, but no one is starting at the same race. Like, you know, like the track and field, it's like some people are up here, some people are down here, but you don't have to finish the full, you know? So
love that.
I definitely would say that is extremely correct. You know what I'm saying? And even with
on the extreme.
So, and then also when it comes to mentors, like this kind of even fell into this question. Like when you make a mentor, you never know who's gonna say your name in the right places. Like those connections that you make the biggest difference. Also, that's why when you're outside, be kind, be open, listen, see what people are, because people be like, oh, I know somebody for this spot, somebody will be speaking on your behalf. You know what I'm saying? So there's people, so you can make your own connections. If you don't know somebody coming in, if you're the first person in medicine in your family, you can still build those connections. You can still build those connections.
Yes.
But at the same time, like some people, I will say that like, some people assume that they're gonna have that connection, like, oh yeah. I remember even when I was coming up in my master's program, people were like, oh, well, my dad's a doctor. I'm like, that's crazy because I'm still in this master's program that I wanted to be in medical school, but here I am in this master's program. Did my dad get me into school?
Right.
No, he did not. You know what I'm saying? So there's still the part that you need to do, but the's still back doors, and I've seen it.
We've all seen it.
I've seen people like, you know, it's like, wait, how are you? What's that?
And I also want to add to your point though.
Yeah.
Once you are able to form those connections, keep those connections.
Correct.
And I feel like that's very, 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 very important. And I'm so serious because I'm like, even when I think like, you know, even my mom knows a lot, not necessarily in medicine, but this is just in general. You know, there are a lot of people that she tells me all the time, like, I wish I would have stayed in contact with them, or I wish I would have X, Y, and Z, because you just never know when you need those network of people. You never know. So once you're able to do that, and I agree also with, you know, and I say this a lot on my Instagram or on my story, even in school, those preceptors, let me tell you something. Those preceptors still, even after graduation, Maine wants to reach out to me.
Yeah.
Maine wants to be like, oh, where are you applying to jobs? How are you doing? X, Y, and Z. One texted me last week. Like we have a little group chat. Like it's just it's crazy. But I know my part in regards to that, especially for somebody like me, because there aren't a lot of people in medicine within my family. And so for me, it's very important that, like, not only do I have those connections, but I'm able to keep those connections. And definitely 100% when you are in school, show up and show out at clinical, okay? And it's not even about, feeling like you have to know every little thing. It's just simply having those conversations like, I don't know, but know that you're trying, because a lot of times preceptors, they don't expect you to know everything, but they want to see that you're trying and that you're putting your best foot forward. You're willing to, step out your comfort zone at times, maybe see a patient that may not be your, strongest patient or whatever's happening with them. You may not know 100%, but still, I'm like, because trust me,
yes,
that's major T right there.
Right.
Those preceptors, I'm not gonna tell you again. Keep them. Hold on to them.
And also be thankful. A handwritten thank you note goes a long way.
Yes.
Check in. How are you? It's not just about take.
Professionalism.
Yeah.
Professionalism. That's what I'm saying. Like a part of it with school too is like professionalism. That's why I feel like now at this age I could call myself a professional student. I'm not in school anymore, but when it comes to certain knowledge, certain things that you have to sort of know, certain etiquette, that's the right word, certain etiquette, that is proper etiquette. You do that with job interviews. You have to treat those things as professional networking and professional, like just take serious. Period. Okay? So 100%. Okay, let's see. So the next topic.
Damn, we're going dark.
We going dark? But it's okay, sis. It's okay because this is the place, not necessarily to go dark, but this is the place to talk about those dark moments.
Right.
Okay? Whew. So next topic, we are talking about anxiety and depression in your medical profession program. So things you miss out on while in school, FOMO, the stressors, and then have we ever personally felt anxious or depressed in our programs? And have we ever witnessed other classmates go through anxiety or depression?
In my notes, I literally have, yup. All the above. Check. Yup, check again.
Girl, oh my goodness.
It's crazy.
Let's see. I have put like, FOMO is real. FOMO is very real. I feel like in school, like I even this, I've always I am pretty good with responsibilities and putting those things that are most important, I feel like, at the top of my list, if that makes sense. And so there were a lot of things throughout school that I said no to. You know what I mean? Like my friends were going out the country for their birthday trips. Nandi couldn't go. You know what I mean? People having birthday events or whatever, just any regular event. Nandi can't go. Nandi's studying. Nandi, you know what I mean? Nandi's crying in the corner. Shoot, I don't know. Nandi is nowhere to be found because Nandi's in the books or asleep or in school or in clinical or working or something else. So, you definitely feel bad, you know what I mean? And I feel like social media doesn't make it any better because it's a difference, like if you have to miss out on things and then you don't have to visually see it after.
Right.
But it's like you have to miss out on things, then you got to go on your phone and see everybody having a blast. You know what I mean? That's
my favorite is when they tag you when you weren't there. When they tag you and say, "Oh, missing this person."
No, y'all wrong for that. Y'all just leave me out of it. No, 100%. Like it's just such a sad, hard time. Like seriously, like we're giggling because we've been there. Like we're giggling because we know how it feels. Like, it could be very, very tough. And
even just in life-changing events, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
marriages,
like weddings,
having
etc.
baby showers.
Babies, 2-3 babies are already here. I haven't seen one. This is crazy.
Not seeing one is crazy. No, yeah. So you definitely miss out on a lot of things, 100%. And I feel like, in general, anxiety, depression within these medical profession programs are not spoken about enough. They're not talked about enough. And, you know, I don't know if you remember, like, how you would see, like, those little stories, like, medical students or whatever, you know, just going into very sad, depressing things. But, you know, it takes a toll on people. It definitely 100% takes a toll. And I do wish it was spoken about enough. I don't feel like it is. I feel like even at the start of these programs, it should be talked about. Like, you know, here are the resources that our school has. You know, this is who you can come to if you have issues, who you talk to. I think that needs to be embedded in the curriculum, period. Like, as a part of the intro before you even start, because people need to know that some of these feelings are natural. It happens, especially when you are stressed out to the point of no return. Like, it is insane. But I will say for myself personally, like, I feel like I've had, you know, anxiety for a while. I feel like I've had it for a while, and like, people that are the closest to me realize certain things. Like my Agnes pre-test rituals. You get what I'm saying? Like, anxiety has been real for me for a long time. I think that I have just learned to, I don't necessarily say cope, but I've learned the things that work best for me to try to get through it, if that makes sense. And so for me personally, that has been exercising or working out. Like, if you follow me, you know that was a big Orange Theory stan, okay? I love Orange Theory.
That was the best you ever were.
Orange Theory got me through life, okay? I don't care what nobody say. Orange Theory got me through life, okay? And so I've just had to learn how to deal with that stuff. And that's how I've learned to deal with it. And 100%, I feel like I've witnessed others deal with both the anxiety and the sadness or depression within my program. 100%. Like, there were people that I know that literally at a certain point we had to, like, not we, but had to take certain medications and stuff like that just to go to sleep. Okay? Because the stress leading to the insomnia, leading to not being able to sleep at night, knowing you have to wake up at 5 or 6 a.m. to drive to clinical that may be an hour or two from where you live. Okay? Like, people I know that actually started anxiety medications while at the program because of the fact, you know, things just became too rough and stressful. And or, like I said, some people have minor cases, but then you're put into more stressful environments and situations.
Exactly. Past that, then it's
exactly. And I feel like that's what happened for a lot of people that I have personally witnessed throughout my program. And so I say all this to say it's definitely common. You know, I don't feel like anybody should be belittled for it. You're going through a lot. Like, point blank period. You're going through a lot. And so if it does happen, I feel like, you know, that's why I'm so big on like support systems and things like that, because you need that 100%. Like, I feel like it's no way for you to go through these stressful times in your life, like in life in general, but definitely these stressful programs, and not have that support.
And make sure your friends or like the people who you call your home team and your home base are really your friends. You don't just get to see people and call them, oh, that's my friend. Oh, yeah. No, that's an acquaintance.
Oh, sis.
Sometimes you're just like, people are in competition with you, and you like, you know, especially in an academic
realm
where people are asking about, like, you know, withholding their grades, asking you about theirs. Like, they're not asking about your well-being. They're asking about, oh, well, what did you get this done? Or like, even that same way we talked about FOMO, people have FOMO of like, okay, did I get to study this stuff done? Or, oh yeah, I already finished that. Like, people are in a random competition, so they're feeding you even more stuff, and you're having like, you're getting overwhelmed all those things that they're telling you. And so it no longer becomes a safe space. You feel like you're drowning, like, oh, I'm not keeping up, I'm not catching up, everyone is here, I'm here. No, you need to have somebody who just, you've studied, you're getting X, Y, and Z done, what are the next steps? Like, you need an actual proper home base. Not everyone is your friend. So don't evaluate that. Like, when I'm around these people, do they make me feel better? Do I feel more productive? Do I feel like I can exhale? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or do I feel more and more like does it stress you out even more? That you don't need that stress around you. Reevaluate, regroup, and find a new, you know what I'm saying?
Gotta
even if it's
cut it.
just one person is better than how many just belonging in a study group or this, that, and like, oh, this is my crew. Child, is it your crew?
And that's in life, period.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I feel like those people that always have a bunch of people around them, baby, trust me, you probably got 2 real friends out the pack.
Right.
So true. What did you see in school with medical school?
Child, I saw it within myself, within others, everyone in between. But I will say, like, when it comes to anxiety, I definitely also had anxiety as well. Have currently present. So for me, like, it was really just specifically testing anxiety. I had like severe testing anxiety, and I feel like it wasn't really highlighted until I went to medical school, because like I've technically, like, looking back, I've always had the anxiety since high school, because I feel like every time I go take a test, I'm gonna fail. Like, I will be getting A's on the test, but I'm still like, my personal inner feeling, I will never be ready. There's always something I could have studied. I never feel prepared. I always feel like that's how I always felt. But because I was still performing, or just like, oh, that's just, I thought that was the norm. I'm allowed to feel that way.
Like,
I still get
feel
the
that
job.
way, then you get over the hump.
Yeah, exactly. Then the job gets done. So for me, when I went to medical school, because that was been the thing I was like working for my whole life, you know, just like, okay, this is where the tests matter. This is where it counts. So I put just so much pressure on myself where it became debilitating. So my first term of medical school, like, I think my first 2 tests, they went, when I say south, I mean south. I was not finishing exams. I felt like I was taking a test at gunpoint, to be fair, like, and I was like rereading the questions, whether I knew it or not. I'm like, it's like when you type in 2 + 2 in the calculator. Why are you typing 2 + 2 when you know it's 4? But you're still typing it. Maybe it wants to be 5 this time. Because you're just so anxious, and you're so like, I don't know if they're trying to trick me. You know, when somebody asks you what's the color of a banana, it's yellow, right? But the test question would be like A, green, B, brown, C, yellow, right? Best answer is yellow. It's still yellow, but I'm like, damn, but if it's right,
it turns brown.
It turns brown, but then but it's like, before it's ready, it's kind of green. It has that greenish tinge to it. So what am I putting down? You know what I'm saying? And then if I click C, I'm like, okay, did I click the C? All of a sudden, I'm seeing the time is 5 minutes left on my test. I have 20 questions to go. I'm trying to click before the time runs out. At least just A, and this is not even reading the question. So that's where I was. I had to find a place where I'm like, okay, where I feel prepared. I have my ritual, literally for test days. Like, I breathe, I plant my feet, I write my, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me on every single scratch sheet I always got. I'm like, click the question, move on. Like, I had to find a pattern to just ground myself. Like, it was a whole process when I was realizing that by itself was debilitating me. So I couldn't even finish tests just because of the pressure I was putting on myself. I talked to my advisor. My advisor just telling me, and I also talked to a learning strategist to just figure out like what was going. That was all provided by my school. So that's what worked for me. So everyone needs to figure out what works for them when it comes to, like, anxiety. There's obviously anxiety things in life as well happen, but just know what works for you. Not everything, just because somebody else is like, whether it's they're getting the A's and whatever, just because something works for them doesn't mean it's going to work for you.
True. So
find what works for you. Because like I said before, like the FOMO of missing out, like, but they're doing Boards and Beyond and Sketchy and Pathoma and doing all these like resources. Pick your 1 or 2.
Yeah.
And then when you start performing and what works for you, you stick to it. I was a person who stuck to the, my lectures, and that worked for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, lectures, and then I look for my first aid. That's good. Am I getting the desired result? Boom. I'm not adding extra. I don't care what anyone else is doing. I'm good. Y'all got the Anki. Y'all got this. I'm not putting that stress on my plate. So that helped me with that anxiety. And then also who you're surrounded with too. Like, I've seen people, like my, friends are anxious, friends are depressed. And like, it's dark. Everyone's like making like jokes about it, like laughing, like, oh my gosh, like studying, but they put in the brackets like dying. And like people make like, suicide jokes all the time. But I'm like, sometimes like, wait. Then I have to really ask, like, but are you serious though? Like, it's not even, because people have, even not in my program, but at my school have committed suicide, which is sad. Like, there's benches that are dedicated to past students who have, passed away. And another big thing I wanted to say was, just because there's no place that you make it where it's just like, okay, when I make it to this point, I'm not going to be anxious anymore. I'm going to be better. It'll be good. We're not chasing this thing that's good. You have to make sure you're good now, presently, in the process, because there are people who are killing themselves in medical school, killing themselves in residency, killing themselves as an attending. So there's no, when I become a doctor, when I get into medical school, I'll be fine.
I'll be better.
When I become a doctor, I'll be fine. When I become a resident, I'll be fine. When I become an attending, when I become it's not about when you get it. Don't put that pressure on yourself or think there's a magical place where everything's fine. Nope. You have to make the fine now.
Right now.
And know what quote unquote normal is. Because sometimes I like even recheck myself and my friends, like, this is a spiral. Like, outside looking in, this is a spiral. This is not normal. People are not, one little thing like this is not making them go downhill like this. This is not a norm. Because when you're with yourself, you think, oh yeah, everyone's doing this. No, everyone's not. Yeah. Doing that. So know what kind of normal it's like. So whether it's therapy, my school offers therapy for free, whether it's, you know, your system, but also check on your friends. You know how your friends are, but even when they're making those like slight jokes, like I still, even though within the Siggy caps, the last part is, have you ever had thoughts of suicide or executing that? And it's like, cause you know, it's all but wait.
Seriously though.
No, seriously though, cause I'm not joking with that. Yeah. Because we've seen it happen like, it's happening right under our noses, you know? And I don't want to be like, oh yeah, I wish I knew. No, you ask then and there, because this is not what's making you say these things, what's, you know? Yeah. But at the end of the day, these are just careers. Like, this is for yourself. You know, I know you don't want to let anyone down, but child, if other people are like, oh, you're a doctor, or you're a nurse, or you're, you know, like hyping you up, putting you on this pedestal, like, I'm just human, I'm just here like everybody else, you know, we have the same 24 hours, I wake up, I sleep, I wake up, I eat, I do, just trying to find your own personal balance. Nobody's promised tomorrow, you know what I'm saying? Because you're more than just your occupation. You're more than just your occupation, that doesn't define you. It's just, okay, it's just a career. You can work anywhere, this is just a job. Right. This is just a job. It should be fulfilling. But it's still just a what? Just a job. J-O-B. So that's what I have to say with that. It's heavy, but it's real. It's just not talked about. Like, it's not talked about enough. So yeah, we had to put our 2 cents in about that, because 100%. And what you said about like the little stuff happening and you spiraling, I promise you I'll never forget one day I came home. Of course, like, you know, it sounds very big back to me, but I dropped a piece of chicken on the floor. Why was I crying? Why was I crying? That's the last straw. I said, if anything goes wrong, my food is on the floor. I was crying. I said, yeah, see? I'm done. You know what I'm saying? Like, the day was done. Drew the line, girl. Well, next topic. I think we talked about this a little bit in our last video too, but just imposter syndrome. And then, did we ever feel this in our program? I'll let you start this time. I said, yeah, you could definitely still, I feel like imposter syndrome is real, because it's just like, again, it's just like, how did I get here? You know, it doesn't feel real. Yeah. Like, again, even though, like, okay, I graduated medical school and stuff, but it just feels like, is this real? Like, how did I even get here? But I literally just saw a post too. Did I screenshot it? Let me bring it up real quick. It says, PSA, you're not lucky. You're good at what you do. The opportunities didn't just fall in your lap. You worked hard for them, and you can do it again. Oh, love that. So, like, even when I see, like, small posts like that, because it just, again, shows that, again, everyone is going through these things. And, like, it feels like, oh, maybe it's just, maybe it is luck. I don't know how I got here, but a reminder that you be knowing something. Yeah. You did the training. To get this far. Right. To get this far. Right. You can. I could be watching Grey's Anatomy and I know a diagnosis. I'm like, dang, I guess I do be knowing something. A little something. Like, something. So even when it doesn't feel real, or it feels like, I don't know, like sometimes, I don't know how imposter syndrome even came about. When you were there, you were present. Was it an outer body experience? Like, you were there, you had the tears, you had the happiness, you had the studying, you had the results. I don't know why magically all of a sudden it was just like, nope, that couldn't have been me. Yeah. But it's real. I can't really explain. I haven't really tackled how to, you know. Yeah. I haven't even really, you know, tackled how to like combat it. To not honestly. Feel it. Yeah. Like, but sometimes it just really does feel like that. But I guess just small reminders of just like, no, you have the knowledge. You did it. Right. You know. Yeah. I feel like that. I feel like also for me, like if I'm being completely honest, I think it also can happen a little bit more and or less depending upon your environment.
you know, just in the grand scheme of things, there was just not that many minorities within our program. You know, you have these certain programs or school, like I said, where people have those connections, you know, a little bit of a sense of entitlement, okay?
Speak on it.
Because your parent is X, Y, and Z, and your daddy did this, or your mama donated this. And so I feel like when that happens, you know, sometimes you're just like,
Yeah.
you know, like, do I belong here? Do I belong here? Do I fit in here? Do I feel comfortable here? You know, is this a place that I was meant to be, meant to stay? And so there were definitely those moments, I feel like, within my program, I was just like, oh, like, you know? And it's sad because you shouldn't feel like that ever, I feel like, especially when it comes to the environment. But that's life, truly, and it happens. I feel like for me, I definitely had those moments. But even outside of school, I would say working, you know, still day to day, I'm just like, wow, like, how I get, like you said, like you'd be like, how did I get here? Oh, patients in room. Oh, okay. Like, you know, it's just, it is crazy. And so, and I think the same thing also applies to workforce, because there were some places I went to job-wise. I'll be honest, I turned down the job. If I didn't see one other minority minimum,
Yeah.
I said, oh no, baby, I'm sorry. It is 2024. We got to do better.
Right.
I did not take the job. I would not take the job just for that. I'm so sorry. I never want to put myself where I feel even extra uncomfortable. I already feel like I probably don't belong here. I'm already questioning how I got here.
Yeah.
So, you know, I would say for me personally, yeah, I turned down some places, honey. I'm not gonna lie. And when my, you know, mentors or people asked me about it, I was very honest. If it was like through a connection, I was just like, you know, I just didn't feel the most comfortable in that environment and taking that position. And that's what I did. And so, once again, though, I put on here, you know, making sure you have that good support system once again for the 1,000th time. Those people that are reassuring you that you belong. Those people that are reassuring you you worked hard to be there. If anybody deserves to be there, it is you. I've said that before. I'll say it again. I'll say it 1,000 more times, okay? Because you worked hard. Like, I can see if you just, you know, was just skipping through life. Like, no, you worked hard to be there. So very important, if you can't always remind yourself that you have those people around you that are able to remind yourself of that, because you deserve it 100%. And then I also said being your own biggest fan.
Period. When
you have those moments of like, oh, like, you know, how did I no, like sometimes you have to hype yourself up too, you know what I mean? And
if you don't do it, who's
gonna do it, right? And it's not even to the point, it's not about being cocky too, because I feel like providers and stuff like that also have that, you know, sort of stereotype, like, you know, like you have the power to heal, magic, wow. Like, no, like it's not about being cocky, it's about being confident within yourself and building yourself up, because we're human. We're all gonna have those times where maybe we don't feel our best or feel like, you know, we belong or we deserve to do this, but you have to make sure you are amping yourself up, okay?
Because I feel like everybody for real is like so hard on themselves.
Yeah.
Like genuinely, I feel like no one is as mean to you as yourself.
You are to yourself. 100%.
Because like sometimes you have to check yourself, like the stuff that you're saying to yourself, would you say to somebody else? I'll wait.
The answer is no, baby.
You would not.
Yeah.
So give your own self the grace. Because the same stuff that you're catching yourself, like giving your advice to your friend and like, dang, that would have been nice for my, I don't know.
Yeah, for myself.
I'm gonna use that. Yeah, because the same stuff that you were just punching yourself about, now you're just boosting boosting somebody else about, no, you got this. Why can't you give yourself the same pep talk, the same boost, the same, you know, reassurance.
It's so true. And I put like feeding yourself positive affirmations constantly. And that even like, once again, I feel like going back to social media, that's something I also learned. Like I took a lot of social media breaks throughout my journey. I'll make that very clear, a lot. Like some of my friends know I was off Instagram at one point for a year.
Yeah.
A year.
And right when she got back, I took a year off.
Like, dude, like I'm so serious. Like, lock in, do what you have to do, but also save your mental. Like, take care of your mental, because that it's just so true. Like, and even the people that you follow on the day to day, that also takes a toll. Like, there was one point I deleted a bunch of people, a bunch of people either that remind me of past, a bunch of people that weren't feeding positive thoughts, you know, and I switched it up. I started following those people that post, like what you quoted earlier, those positive quotes, those positive affirmations. I started following things that made me happy, even if those were dog pages. Right. Okay? That's
I get a dog.
I swear though.
Every other DM is a puppy. He's the same.
Baby, you gotta save your mental, okay? I'm sorry. That's key. Whatever makes you happy, that's what you need to be following. Don't be following all these little just regular Instagram girls that have, you know, nothing else to really share other than their beauty. Okay, so
remember that you are what you eat.
Yeah.
That's what they say.
Yeah.
And that's physically, spiritually, that's everything. Like, whatever you see, whatever you consume, you are what you eat. So put that in all aspects of your life.
All aspects, 100%. Whew, that was a good one.